I've never been in a relationship. From my understanding, it
So
was
you got
just
6 kids by men that you were never in committed relationships with?
These men that you want, this man that you want, in order for them to be that kind of man, they have to take accountability for their own actions and make good decisions to be that type of man. But you're not willing to do that because you don't want to say, I am the problem. You don't want to be the problem. Black men are the problem, not you. Black men are the problem. Black men are not the problem. Men are not the problem. Character is what we're dealing with here. If you don't subscribe, you will be smacked down by the Lord. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Uhari, and this is the place where I share my opinions about anything that interests me, because a lot of shit comes across my algorithm, and I kind of want to talk about it. So today, I am quite excited because, y'all, I have discovered something, a YouTube channel by the name of Kendra G, and she does this show, and it's Kendra G Singles Live. And basically what it is, it's a dating show. People call in, they talk about who they are, what they have to offer, their requirements, and then hopefully somebody in the audience looks them up. They give their details. And also Kendra has this app called Kendra G Singles, and yeah, it's a dating app that is linked to her show, and it is amazing. She is a beautiful Black woman who's achieved a lot on the internet, and it is very inspiring to see her blossom across all those platforms. So today we are going to get into it. Well, as you could tell by the title, today we are going to be talking about a controversial figure, I would say, because we're talking about a woman with 7 kids and 6 baby daddies. So let's get into it.
What's your name, boo?
Alicia,
Alicia, where you calling me from besides the bathroom girl?
St. Louis, Missouri.
How old are you?
I'm 39.
39. What you do for a living?
I'm on the side. I'm not employed. I'm not on nobody's clock.
How you pay your bills?
I get child support.
Well, keep it real, child. Okay. How many kids do you have?
I have 7 kids.
Okay. 7 kids. All right. How old are your 7 kids?
I have a 19-year-old, a 13-year-old, a 16-year-old, and my last 4, 6, 3. One just turned 2 today, and I have a 5-year-old.
A 5-year-old. Okay. How many men?
6.
You got 6 men. What you looking for? You calling me for number 7?
So, as you can see, we have Alicia. Alicia is 39. Alicia has 7 kids. Alicia is unemployed. And for whatever reason, Alicia thinks it's appropriate to want to date. I'm going to say it loud and clear. I feel like at the point of 7 kids, maybe stop dating, just raise your kids. Kendra asks the obvious question of, well, why didn't you marry any of your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 baby daddies? Well, this is where it gets tricky. See, as I was watching this video, and as I watch a lot more videos on Kendra's channel, there is a startling, frightening lack of accountability present in her audience, the women within her audience. They deflect a lot, and it's quite difficult for Kendra to talk to them. But yes, now we're going to talk about why none of these men actually married her.
So let me say this. Before I started having kids, I always had a plan for my future. I wanted to have all my kids by one man. I wanted a Christian man, but life don't go as we planned it. But I wouldn't necessarily say I'm looking to have more kids. I'm just looking to not have to look no more.
Well, I understand that, but my question is, you gave 6 men a child. Out of all those 6 men, none of them were good enough for you to be with until the end of time?
In the beginning, yeah. In the beginning. To be honest, a lot of these guys caught me in a moment of me being vulnerable. So that's just pretty much what it is.
Okay, in this clip, that's when I started to noteworthy statements of accountability evasion, and I decided it would be a fun game if I took a shot for every time she evades accountability. However, I am over 5 years alcohol-free, recovering alcoholic. I can't drink alcohol, but the closest thing I have is a soda, which is the flavor of dry lemon. And it gives you kind of that face that alcohol gives you. I'm not a fan of the flavor. My sister got it, so I figured, hey, something I don't like. Let me pair it with this lack of accountability. So let's go. First, lack of accountability. Drink will go to the statement, you know life don't go how we plan. This should not be a flavor. This should not be a flavor of cool drink. This is disgusting. So here we hear that in the beginning, before she kids, I thought, wait, yeah. Before she had these kids, apparently she says she wanted a Christian man. But you will find a lot. They'll be like, I want a Christian man. I want a God-fearing man who will take me and all my lambs.
Oh, donkey, wake up! Dada! Shit, you okay? Oh, I can't believe I'm gonna be a father.
So yes, basically we see this articulation of a life that she wanted for herself, a plan that she had. She took actions contrary to this plan. And instead of taking accountability of the fact that, hey, I kind of messed up, she goes, well, life doesn't go how we plan. Life may not go how we plan, but life does go how we act. Actions have consequences. It's the way we react to the things we didn't plan that will dictate whether or not we are marriage material. So she goes on to talk about why she actually had those, because she was trying to kind of deviate and Kendra kind of brought her back to it. And then she says, well, it's because they caught her in a vulnerable moment. 7 kids, 6 baby daddies, each time, vulnerable moment. And that brings us to shot number 2. Okay, daddy was a Rolling Stone and mama was a mattress. So now we've covered why she's not married, because these men caught her in a vulnerable moment. So now Kendra asked her what kind of man she wants.
So what kind of man are you looking for, Elisa?
A man that's not married. I don't do cheaters. I don't like cheaters. I don't do thieves. I'm not real super particular on a guy that I'm looking for. I just don't want no drama. Don't want no mess.
I don't know about you, but if I was a mother of 7 with 6 different fathers, I would be more contemplative about the kind of man that I want. So I would think she would be more contemplative about her criteria. But no, what do we get? We get somebody who's not married, somebody who is not a cheater, somebody who is not a thief, and somebody who doesn't have drama or mess. That's it. This is the criteria of a mother of 7. Not married, well, great. Not a cheater, no way anybody can vet that, really. Not a thief, wow, the bar is in hell. No drama or mess. Kendra is taken aback. She starts to name the the children in the birthing order, just kind of trying to get her to internalize it.
You have 7 kids by 6 men. You have pretty much, well, a 5-year-old, a 2-year-old, a 3-year-old, a 6-year-old. Do the 6-year-old and the 5-year-old have the same dad?
The 6-year-old, no, they don't.
Okay. So there's moments when you were pregnant one year by one man and then pregnant the following year by another man.
Unfortunately, yes.
Okay.
She's like, okay, you've got this many kids and these are their ages, and I think 4 of them live in her house. She's trying to get her to at least perceive how much another man would have to be willing to take on in order for her to be a wife. A wife. So when Kendra asks the very fair question of what kind of man would want this, my sister in Black Jesus.
So this is going to be talked about, honey. So what do you have to say to the people that's going to be talking about this and thinking that what man would sign up for this? Just
I mean, it's fine if a man don't want to sign up for it, but I'm saying everybody has a past. And also a lot of people also commented and said that can't nobody judge me, don't nobody have no heaven or hell to put me in.
When asked what kind of man would want to sign up for this, and Kendra does this a lot, and it's rather sad. She tries to bring them into a sphere of self-awareness, and these bitches be deflecting it like, pow, 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 pow. No, not my fault. No accountability. I'm gonna keep that in because it is a consequence of her lack of accountability. If she was accountable for her life, I wouldn't be making this video. I wouldn't be burping. So hey, should I take a accountability shot for myself? No. Okay, so when asked what man would want to take you on, everyone has a past. Okay, so at this point, it's she's defensive, right? Everyone has a past. Okay. And then she says, no one can judge me. And that is the third accountability dodge. So it's kind of like Neo, like accountability. 1 baby daddy, 2 baby daddy, 3 baby daddy. Oh. I'm actually having fun. You would swear there is alcohol in this. I don't know. It's the sugar. Okay, number 3. You know what it is that you can never get used to the taste. Every time the bitterness hits you. And the gas. Taking shots of gassy cool drink isn't fun, right? You know, you gotta let it fuzz and take time. So, by the way, while all of this is happening, there's a child in the background. Are you kidding me? Like, what man would want to take this on? No one can judge me. No. Dating is about judging. This shit right here is evolutionary, okay? Organisms in nature be judging each other like, not good enough, not good enough, not good enough. But now, no man can judge you. These men are not Jesus. They are not here to die for your sins or your bad decisions. Be accountable. As she is evading this accountability, she goes on to make the statement or strong sentiment that at least she kept her babies and she didn't abort them.
The kids that I have, I could have aborted to keep my, to keep myself from being talked about or to keep my reputation. So I decided to keep mine.
Hold my earrings. Hold my earrings. I've been taking self-defense classes. Let's go. Okay, so time out. I'm South African. I'm very pro-abortion, okay? South Africa has had legal abortion since the year of 1997. In South Africa, a minor can get an abortion without having to have the permission of their children. That is the extent to which we as women in South Africa have legislative protection for our bodies, okay? In South Africa, the realities of what an abortion is are more evident. A lot of young women who are just not in the economic state to be able to have that child can have an abortion. Our government has free abortions, okay? Like you can go to a clinic where you can. I mean, it gets full and a lot. But I'm trying to push home the fact that somebody who has an abortion is somebody who isn't putting children on food stamps, is somebody who isn't creating generational trauma. Okay, you can have whatever beliefs you want about life beginning at conception or whatever, but if you are a Christian, know that there is a portion in the Bible where a pregnant woman can be taken to somebody and will be given a concoction if the husband believes that the child isn't his. If the child is his, they're supposed to have a full-term pregnancy, but if it's not, the child is supposed to be aborted. Don't come to me with that shit. Grew up on the Bible, okay? I read it, unlike you motherfuckers. So go on, do whatever you want, but don't think that the world owes you a thank you and or congratulations because you didn't use your right to reproductive freedom. I know of two amazing young women who are my friends who had abortions because they fell pregnant when they did not want to. One friend's pregnancy was a result of rape, and the other friend's was a result of a good time that the other friend's result was whatever, really. It doesn't matter why. What matters is they had the choice. They got their legal abortions and therefore are still alive and healthy. And they're both doctors, something they would not have been able to accomplish. Your life could have looked far differently had you not thought that the world owes you a congratulations because you had your baby. Thank you for the generational trauma. Thank you for the young men who grow up without fathers. Thank you for the young men who are probably going to end up taking really bad decisions in life because they didn't have any guidance and their mother just kept on having children. Thank you so much, because all of that trauma is going to have great repercussions of society. I mean, we know that, right? Right? Broken homes with multiple baby daddies, they always lead to success, right? Okay, so now that we've covered the fact that nobody owes you congratulations because you went and had 7 unplanned pregnancies, yeah, bitch. Let's get into the next clip where Kendra talks more about this accountability thing.
But there's also birth control methods. There's birth control. There's condoms. There's other precautions that you can take other than just abortion.
So Kendra says, okay, we get it. You had your kids, cool, shop, whatever. But what about birth control? What about birth control? Now, is she gonna take accountability?
To be honest, I just don't need to have no sex because I got pregnant with the depot, and then it's a little TMI, but I got that pussy gripper. So yes. So my best bet is I just don't need to have no sex.
Ah, you saw the clip. Of course, she didn't take accountability. She said she got pregnant on the depot shot, which is a form of birth control. In this, I mean, it happens, but it's rare. But fine, say it happened. That's one baby. She doesn't have a good excuse for the others. And then she tells us about how her pussy is a gripper. You know, her kids are right there somewhere. Her pussy is a gripper, and I don't even know what that means, quite honestly. Once again, she doesn't take any accountability. And she says to Kendra in an almost flippant tone, as if Kendra is like judging her in a manner that isn't justified. So kind of like a rebellious teenager. And she's like, well, fine. I guess I don't need to be having sex then. It's like, maybe. So yeah, it's not her fault because her pussy's a gripper. So here's to babies 1 through 5. Okay, so Kendra gets kind of exhausted, and now you can see it on her face that she just kind of wants to get through these questions. And she asks her, I'm so sorry. I don't want to leave that in, but she asks her, so is the goal marriage?
Stability.
Is the goal marriage?
Celibacy. Celibacy and then marriage.
And she says, well, she doesn't even say yes, she nods. Okay. And then she said, yeah, she wants to be married. Actually, now she's celibate, so she doesn't want to have sex until she's married.
No.
What? You said, wait, what you said you're celibate now?
Yes. I'm trying. And that's why I'm glad I got my kids, because I can't even get out there to really.
I want to make sure I understand. So your mama, 7, by 6 men, who now is celibate until you get married.
That's the plan.
So this hypothetical man comes into the equation and he can't have sex with her, even though like 6 other men could give her babies. So the requirement to marriage is what, celibacy, but the requirement to having a baby is just my pussy's a gripper. So Kendra's like, okay, well, why didn't you make that a requirement 6 baby daddies ago? And she says, I like sex with the baby in the room.
Just curious, why didn't you come up with that plan after maybe baby daddy number 2?
Because I like sex. I'm going to just put it up. I like, at the time I was a nympho, and I just wanted, and I thank God I ain't get nothing that I could never get rid of. And I'm going to just keep it real. But they her, so don't nobody want to fuck.
You don't like sex no more?
I mean, I do, but I found other ways to shit. Them kids go to bed and do what I got to do with to get that phone, get them toys.
Why didn't you make it a requirement that you need to be married before you have sex? Because I like sex. Here's what I have, in my own experience, observed is when you are in a committed relationship, you can have potentially a lot more sex than you can when you're not in a committed relationship, because you don't have to go searching for a sexual partner. They're right there next to you all the time. So if you like sex, maybe get into a committed relationship with a good man. And now she's talking about sex, she's talking about masturbation, and her daughter is in the room, and this woman wants to get married. So now Kendra asked her one of my favorite questions, because women get it so wrong so many times. She asked her, why would a man be lucky to have you?
Last question, but I'm going to ask you now because I'm just curious. Why would a guy, just curious, why would you say a guy would be
lucky to date me?
Yeah, why would a guy be lucky to be with you?
Overall, I'm a good person in general.
Now, ladies, if I have learned anything from watching Black male content creators, because I guess this is more geared towards my Black women, what I've listened to from men, what I've picked up is that what we find to be attractive qualities don't carry to what men find to be attractive. And a lot of times a woman would be like, I'm a go-getter and I make all this money and I want a man who meets me at that level. But for some men, as I have heard, that is something that isn't attractive to them, because they weren't entering life with this fear that I'm going to have a woman take care of me. They are ambitious to make that money for themselves so that they can have the kind of family they want. And one thing they want is availability of time from the women that they settle down with. And when you are working all the time and he is working all the time, that is not a kind of relationship that he wants. So what you think is a turn on is a turn off, because men and women want different things. This is another thing that Kendra tries to tell these women. But oh, Kendra, girl, I look at you and I'm like, I pray for you. I pray for you. You are doing the Lord's work and you look like you're ready to give up. I renounce, Lord. I give up on these women. Let them stay single. Okay, so why would a man be lucky to be with her? Things she lists. She's a good person. If you are trying to get somebody to date you, you have to bring your best foot forward. Like, yo, this is what I can bring. And I am a good person, I just feel is an insufficient answer. Because again, being a good person is relative to your consideration of good. And to me, a good person wouldn't have so many children knowing that she struggles and still be looking to date because she can't find fulfillment in her own kids. I feel like at some point that love that you're seeking there, you should make and then give. So good person is relative to the person. I wouldn't say she's a good person. even that title, nobody's holistically good or bad, but she used that language. So I would say by my metrics, I don't think she's a great person. I mean, her kids are there and she's just having these really explicit conversations. So no, don't think she's a good person. Okay, another reason a man is lucky to be with her is apparently she prays. She prays and she believes in God.
I believe in God. I pray.
What God? What God? Because if it is Jesus a la New Testament, how you praying but your life looks so bad? How? If you are born again, you're supposed to have the Holy Spirit, and the Holy Spirit is supposed to give you guidance. And I lost myself in air quotes. Sit on them hands. The Bible says that you can tell a tree by its fruits. Your life does not have the fruits of a woman who believes in God and prays all the time. Belief isn't found in our words that we profess. Belief is found in our actions, because if you really believe something, you will live according to it. But if you don't, you can profess it, but that's not belief. So, cap. She elaborates that a man would be lucky to be with her because she's such a good person that she even gets taken advantage of.
I'm a good person. To be honest, at times I can be too good of a person to where I'm taking advantage of. So even with the dating thing, I'm still debating on, I guess, the guys that I choose. I've even said I wanted to try a different race.
So if I were to stand back as a man and given the package that she has just laid down, I think the only person who would be attracted to her is somebody who is looking to, unfortunately, harm her children. I will leave it at that. If this person is so desperate for love, they will do anything. They say they love their kids, but they're currently ignoring their children just so that they can get onto an internet dating show, which has an app. So she wouldn't even need to be ignoring her children like that. And that's the reality of dating as a single mother. You are chomo bait. And it is what it is. Oh, and then she also adds that she is open to dating any race because implication being she hasn't had good luck with black men. I count this as another evasion of accountability, which brings us to the grand total of 5. Still bearing the consequences of drink 4. I count this as an evasion of accountability because the idea is that the problem she's facing is black men. That the quality of black men is so low that she needs to go look into another race to get somebody who has the qualities that she believes are positive. Here's the reality. The problem is not black men. The problem is you. People with negative attributes, men with negative attributes exist within every race. Every race. My father is a black man. He is an amazing, loving black man. Great father. Amazing, incredible father, not just to me, but to the community at large. He is of good character. It's about character. It's not about black men. It's not about black women. It's not a race thing. And making it racial is just a way of you saying, it's not my fault. It's them niggas. And it really isn't. It's your fault. You're making choices. So time to have this very delicious cold drink. Pouring less and less each time. Here's to babies 6 to 7. Right after this is where Kendra goes into the aesthetics of, okay, what kind of guy are you looking for? What does he have to look like?
So this man look a certain way?
As long as he ain't missing no teeth, that's fine. But even, I don't care. He just got to be attractive.
Okay.
And I'm 4'11", so I don't want nobody my height.
Okay.
So at least like
Well,
5'2".
4'11", there's a lot of people taller than you, so you'll be good.
Okay, so the man has to be attractive. He has to have no missing teeth. And he has to be taller than her. And she's what, 5'4", 11 or whatever. So, I mean, that is easy. Okay, if you are 5'3", you are not a short king. You are a giant. It's all about relativity, guys. Relativity. You know, don't just be feeling bad. People out here in the world, the rest of the world, be hella short. This whole 6 foot thing that Americans are on, it's like, I am 5'3". What am I doing with a 6 foot person? They don't even come in that size. When it comes to, do you want any specific amount of money? No, she doesn't. She just wants somebody who can take care of themselves.
So the guy make a certain amount of money.
No, as long as he ain't not as long as he taking care of his responsibility, his priorities, and ain't asking me for nothing because I ain't got it.
Okay. So if you get with a man, because you live solely off of child support, correct?
This sounds so harsh, but yeah, I want to go back to work. I do hair. I actually get my own hair, but I want to go back to work. It's just I'm trying to wait till I move. I don't really like the area that I live in.
So yeah, this again, somebody's requirements are reflective sometimes of what they've experienced in the past. So when she says somebody who can take care of themselves, it's clear that she has been in a position, and she did say as much, that where she has financially supported other men, and again, she is unemployed. So yeah, it makes me sad to know that those are the men that she's dealing with, especially as a mother of so many children. Okay, now we go into the Kendra cam. The Kendra cam is one of my favorite parts, everybody's favorite part, right? During the interview, people give all these requirements, and Kendra cam is where we can see, is this person attractive? Are they in a good body, good physical, attractive body? Do they reflect a woman of the standard that would match the man that they say they want?
It's time for the Kendra cam.
Okay. Trying to get her that tablet. I just came from the store, so I ain't dressed all up and stuff. Can you see me?
You gotta see your legs. Okay. All right, we see you, girl.
So we do the Kendra cam, and nothing to say with how she looks. It's just that dysfunction in the background. You can't even have this call because your kids are in the background. After that, we go into her last relationship.
Well, I've been in situationships. That's crazy. I've never been in a relationship, from my understanding. It
So you
was
got
just,
6 kids by men that you were never in committed relationships with?
I thought we were in a relationship, but I say we weren't in a relationship because there wouldn't be any cheating and having other kids.
No, you can be. I mean, listen, how about this? Cheating only happens in a relationship. Ladies, if y'all didn't know that, if you're in a situationship and a guy is with somebody else, that's not your man. So you can't call that cheating. You can only call a situationship cheating when two people agreed to an exclusive relationship. So I know y'all be using cheating, but if he ain't your man, it's not cheating. So let me ask you this question. Have you ever had any committed relationships with the men you have kids by?
Yes.
Okay.
I say that was my oldest daughter, her dad, and then my two that share the same dad. We were in a relationship.
Okay. So when was your last relationship?
5 years ago.
Okay. And the last time you was intimate was 3 months ago?
Uh-huh.
Okay. You want your baby girl to hear the rest of the conversation? She fine?
She talking about some yes, no.
First, she says she's never been in a relationship, which takes Kendra back, because it's like, you have 7 children. What do you mean you've never been in a relationship? And she says, well, I've been cheated on. So that wasn't a relationship. And Kendra says, well, if you feel like you were cheated on, then that counts as a relationship. After that, she says, yes, she's been in 2 relationships with the first father, and the father of her 2 and 5-year-old who share a father. Those were 2 committed relationships she had. That means that of her 7 children, she was only in a relationship with 2 of the baby's daddies. So 7 children, 6 baby daddies. That gives us 4 men who she gave children. She gave them children. And then they rejected those children. She has their children. She wasn't even in a relationship with them. Okay, when was the last relationship? 5 years ago. When was the last time she had sex? 3 months ago. Well, then where? If we are God-fearing, at this point, she should be abstinent, right? And she said she's a God-fearing, praying woman, but she doesn't live any of that stuff. If she's really serious about wanting to be married, she would abstain from sex, but it was 3 months ago. And I think that's the problem. I think that during the sexual revolution and empowerment of women, and the message that women can enjoy their bodies and have pleasure and have sex, I think there is also not enough that we talk about the repercussions of just this free, careless, just for pleasure sex, right? I'm not condemning you. I'm saying that if this is the kind of sex that you want to be having, then you need to be responsible about it. And you are not doing that. And it is making actual people. Do you know how scary that is to me? I am 29 and childless. My child is a cat, okay? The idea of making a person somebody like who is going to have an existential crisis, like, why do I exist? Why am I here? Because mama's pussy's a gripper. Okay, then we come into my second favorite section, and that is the 3 floors section. The 3 floors section is a section in which 90% of the women display an extreme aversion to accountability because they struggle. There will be women who can't think of 3 floors. They can't think of 3 floors about themselves. And these are usually women who have like many children with different fathers, but they can't think of flaws.
What are 3 flaws you have to work on, Alicia?
Trusting people. I trust too much. Finding the right man, I guess. Financial stability could that be one?
Okay.
So her flaws are as follows, as she says. Firstly, she trusts too much. Secondly, she struggles finding the right man. Thirdly, financial stability. My flaw is I trust too much. Saying I trust too much is one of those things of like, I work too hard, I trust too much, I love too hard. It's not very reflective. You don't trust too much. You are a piss poor judge of character. Piss poor judge of character. That's your fault. Your flaw is finding the right man. No. It goes back to the poor character. It goes back to what do you prioritize in men. It goes back to the decisions you are taking. These flaws that you are saying you aren't articulating enough. Instead of saying to trusting and finding the right man, I would say I am willing to betray myself for my flesh. That's how I ended up with 7 kids. That's number 1. And I lack accountability in the decisions that I take. That'll be a second one, because she says finding the right man. Which, by the way, when you have 7 kids, 6 dads, it's time to stop looking. That's just my opinion. Everybody deserves love. But more than romantic love, your children deserve love and stability. And here you are talking about the 3rd floor is financial stability, but you want to date a man. So, yeah. That's very scary, by the way, to have 7 children and not have financial stability. That's scary. So I'm going to count this again as another one of those neo bullet, but accountability. Hooray. When I say accountability, you say evasion. Accountability. Accountability. You really should have just. Why didn't you even play a lot? I swear, some of y'all don't even just. Don't want to have fun. So Kendra asked again, why would a man be lucky to have you? Kendra kind of asks the same question. Sometimes she gets a bit confused because there's a chat going and then there's like really just crazy bitches and she's got to keep track. And also sometimes I feel like she does it just to like, it's like a psychological game. Like, okay, maybe now that you have a bit more awareness, you'll answer this question differently. So why would a man be lucky to have you?
And why would a guy, we already did that question. You want to answer it again? Why would a guy be lucky to be with you?
I'm a good woman in general. I'm a good mother. I'm patient. I don't do all that get out loud and popping my lips and all that extra stuff. I just feel like I'm wifey material. I am. Definitely.
While she asks, why would a man be lucky to have you? Kids screaming in the background. Other niggas' kids screaming in the background. Why would a man be lucky to have you? He wouldn't. Next. Okay, then this time she says she's a good woman. So she went from good person to good woman. You decide? Then she says she's a good mother. Woo! Woo! Girl! Your kids are screaming in the background and you are looking for dick. Good mother sahat. And it is at that point that Kendra lost it because this woman that says she is wifey material. So now Kendra's like, why, girl? What makes you feel like you are wifey material?
I'm just curious. What is your definition of wifey material?
Being supportive, emotionally, financially, if I can, which I have been in a position to where I was. Cooking for my man, pretty much loving on him like I love on my children. What's that? Go on. You look confused.
What makes you feel like you are wifey material? And these are the things. So, men, are you listening? Are you listening? Okay, this is why she's wifey material. So I hope if you are enticed at this point, get help. She says she is emotionally supportive. She says she is financially supportive. She also said that she's unemployed and lives on child support. Again, it's like what I keep saying is like she is basically being like, yo, predators, here I am. Because she says she'll be financially supportive. You shouldn't have. That's why you're a good wife, because you're emotionally and financially supportive. Ma'am, you have 7 kids. What are you supporting financially? What are you getting? Like, oh, she says also cooking. And so many women say this. Like, men can't cook for themselves. I can't speak to whatever community these people are coming from, but by God, I don't even know. I don't know a lot of men, but of the men I know, they can all cook. They can all cook. And also Uber Eats. If what you can bring to a man's life is something that an app can give him, then girl, you do better. Yeah, do better. No, you've got to bring something else to the table. Oh, I can cook. What year do you think this is? I can cook. They all say that, like that's something. Oh, and then she says she's very loving and she'll love on her man like she loves on her kids. So, my man, if you want a woman who will ignore you, who will put herself first, who will rebuke you for just your nature as a person and who will not be patient with you, then yeah, sure. This is the woman for you. You've seen the kids in the background, her attitude. So, hey, this woman likes self-awareness to the umpteenth degree. To say that, like, you are a good mother and you'll love on the man like you love on your kids, and you don't even see how you're treating your kids just in that video. I know men who are genuine. No, of men, or have heard men articulate that when a woman, a single mother, takes care of her children, they find that to be admirable. Usually the single mother has a maximum of 2 to 3 kids. This magic school bus shit is just too much. So Kendra's like, well, if you're wifey material, why didn't any of them marry you? Do you think she's gonna take accountability?
I guess my question is this: because you had six men that could have been potential husbands because you gave them babies, right? So I guess the question is why, if respectfully so, if you're wifey material, why couldn't you close that wife deal with one of the 6 men you had kids with?
Because they weren't husband material.
Then why'd you give them the ultimate gift of a child?
They gave the child to me. Kendra, I'ma just be real. Like I said, I got that snapper. I use condoms. I have guys that when they hit it from the back, they take the condom off, and I don't know. I don't be knowing. It's just certain situations. The guy I was in a relationship with, we supposed to be doing a pull-out method. He told me the day after, you pregnant. So I'm gonna take accountability for, I guess, just having sex, period. Because I'm very fertile, but I can't show my matrix or whoever I end up with. But a lot of guys fake relationships just to get in a woman's, so unfortunately, like I said, I was vulnerable at the times.
Yeah. Double barrel of like no accountability. She goes, they weren't husband material. And then Kendra's like, okay, but so they weren't husband material, but they were baby daddy material? And then she says, well, they gave me a baby. So, okay, firstly, they weren't husband material. And that's why she didn't get married to them. If the desire is marriage, then why would you get involved with 6 men who aren't marriage material and then act like the fault isn't on you? You're not a wife because you're not dating men who want to be husbands. That's on you. So Kendra's like, oh, okay, but then they were good enough to give kids. And then she says, yeah, they gave me kids. The only person who can complain about being given a kid is Mary from the Bible. She abstained. She wasn't even having sex. She did everything right, and she got pregnant. She can be like, well, he gave it to me. I didn't make the baby. He gave it to me. But it's when you act like you have no power in your own life that you can't change it for the better. So sorry. These men that you want, this man that you want, in order for them to be that kind of man, they have to take accountability for their own actions and make good decisions to be that type of man. But you're not willing to do that because you don't want to say, I fucked up. I am the problem. You don't want to be the problem. Black men are the problem, not you. Black men are the problem. Black men are not the problem. Men are not the problem. Character is what we're dealing with here, and you picking shit character. It's not about men or women or white people or black people or the others. Everybody else always just like and other. Our world isn't a fan of nuance. But yes, it's not a gendered or racial thing. It's a character thing. And when you start to live life through that lens, you will be a lot less sexist and racist. And yeah, you will also be a better judge of character because you won't stereotype people. Because there could be an amazing black man out there, but you are conflating the actions of the men you chose with him, and you're not going to get anywhere in life with that attitude. Because when you blame other people for what you have power over, nothing will ever change. Then she also goes into how sometimes men can fake a relationship in a desire to get sex. Like, yeah, but At what point did you learn that? Did you only learn about that by child number 7, or were you aware of this, but you want so badly to be loved and be in romantic feelings that you will accept lies, that you can see are lies, and then later on, instead of blaming yourself and saying, you know what, I went with my feelings instead of my experience, instead of doing that, you say, well, the problem is men because men lie for sex. Okay? Men like that exist. There are also men who actually want to be loved and love women and be in a relationship. Those are the men that you should have encountered and been with maybe 5 children ago. If we're giving you some leeway, fuck it, let's say 4. But no, again, it's the man's fault for being a liar. How about you're the one who's at fault for being gullible? Woefully so. You are choosing emotion over rationality, and your life is proof of that, because you know the decisions you are taking are stupid. Otherwise, you wouldn't be so fucking ashamed and defensive and evading accountability. Forcing me to take yet another shot of this delicious cool drink, which completely makes sense. I think I'm starting to like it. I think maybe I just didn't give it enough of a chance. Also think I'm lying to myself and you. I don't like it.
This the last child you had, right?
Yeah, she 2 today.
Today her birthday.
Yes.
All right, well, happy birthday, baby girl.
And as we have our final drink, we will toast. Toast to her 2-year-old's birthday, because she's filming this video on the birthday of her 2-year-old. And then she goes on to say that she actually tried to call into the show 2 years ago when she was pregnant.
Alicia, honey, listen. I wish you the best. Keep me posted how it goes.
I will, Kendra. Thank you. I've been trying to get on your show for 2 years, but shoot.
You've been talking my show for 2 years. You got a 2-year-old child.
Yeah, I mean,
How old was the baby then?
I was probably pregnant at the time. You look like you want to hang up. I'm the most realest person you probably
Alicia,
ever.
why was you looking for a man when you was pregnant?
I mean, there's some people out there that I was getting hollers while I was pregnant, so I don't. Some people just don't care. If you're a good person, they don't care.
And it's your birthday, and your mother is looking for a man. So, happy birthday, kiddo. Okay, I was kidding early on, but I really do think maybe I'm coming around to the taste. It's kind of like a grapefruit, where it's like, when you can taste the sweet, it's so sweet, but also there's the bitter. But for a split second, your tongue can separate the experience. So, this is just, here's a toast to me for finishing this, to Kendra G for tolerating this, and to you for making it this far in the video. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate every view, every comment, every subscription. So if you enjoyed this, please consider subscribing. If you are subscribed and you don't have the notification bell turned on, please turn it on so you can know when I post my videos. But other than that, I hope that you guys have a positive rest of your day, or a better day tomorrow, depending on when you are watching this. My name is Uhari, reminding you that birth control exists.